We have a cigar while we're freaking doing this.
What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again. We are in our hot seat episodes, and we've got Cooking with CJ. What's up, CJ?
What up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm like looking at the bottom screen over here, and I'm like, which camera do I look at?
Don't worry, because my camera's going to get all weird with, I got some kind of weird, blurry. You're going to think you're drunk at some point watching it, because I'm going to get really blurry. So don't worry about it.
Well, hopefully I do get drunk. So cheers.
All right. So I don't know if there was I got the little yellow, not suitable for all advertisers thing. So I don't know if there's an ad playing in the beginning. Typically, I like to ramble on for 10, 15 seconds till somebody figures out how to hit the skip button.
Nice.
Big fan of the skip button. All right.
So when I check YouTube, can you still see me? Like if I crawl,
as long as you don't close this window out, the Google Hangout window, you can minimize it for all intensive purposes.
I was going to click back and forth, but I didn't want to make sure you couldn't see me.
The only reason I keep this up is just because it's like I told you a minute ago, it's really weird watching it on the other screen.
Right. Makes sense.
All right, so we got In for the Grill Barbecue, Kent Van de Weird. Hey, Kent, I already know the answer to this. So I actually friended Kent on Facebook. It's kind of weird stalking him down because he doesn't actually have a YouTube channel. Don't know what his face looks like. Just kind of took the information I could gather from the chats we've had and went from there. We got Meathead, Double J Barbecue, Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue, Condrol's Kitchen. God, I always feel like I screw that name up. Johnny Texas Style Cuisine, Robert Roy. And I missed somebody in the beginning, and I'll catch you the next time through. All right, so we got CJ here, and we're going to start this. We're going to give you the softballs.
Sweet.
Where are you from?
I am from beautiful Orange County, California. That's where I was born and raised. I moved out to the Inland Empire in Southern California, which is about 45 minutes east of Los Angeles. So it's a city I live in is Rancho Cucamonga, which is real fun to say.
All right. I know Everyday Barbecue asked me in the Facebook group, wants to know, how's it feel living in California?
You know, it feels excellent. It's funny that, I feel kind of, lucky sometimes when I see, like, even watching you do your videos. You're digging out snow to put up your barbecue grill, and I can just go outside. Like, I mean, it rained yesterday and a little bit the night before, but I mean that was really the first measurable rain at all since like March. So it's great here. I mean, but the flip side of that is where I live, it's butt hot. It could get to 113, 110, whatever, and that sucks, but luckily we have a pool outside and we can refresh ourselves that way and drink heavily and whatever. But other than that, it's great. Traffic sucks, but luckily I work about 10 minutes away from my house, so it's not too bad. Take side streets in.
So Heavy Metal Barbecue just got on. He says he's already tuned. Blind Grilling came on. What's up, Chris? Hey, Chris, did you sell out of the rub yet? Is that a confirmed? I'm thinking I read that somewhere, but let me know. Put it in the chat thing. Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue. Apparently he got back on. Okay. Oh, you were talking about how nice the weather is. So today it is 55 degrees in Canton, Ohio, and tomorrow we're going to start out right about the same temperature, and it's going to rain.
Oh.
And then the temperature is going to slowly go down, and I'm going to get me 5 inches of snow whilst filming my poutine video.
Nice. Well, that's at least you got weather, right? That's what everybody says. Everybody across the country got weather. We just have, a little bit of rain and sun. That's it.
Cooking Green Bastard style says, who is this guy? His name's CJ. I put the link down below. We're getting back to where the hot seat was originally intended, which was not to have mega stars with 200,000 subscribers. Although I appreciate all the big guys that came on and kind of helped, make this legit.
Right on.
All right. Family life, wife, kids, dog, everybody on the hot seat likes to, if you got a dog, you're going to win.
I have 2 dogs. I have a pug French bulldog mix. His name's Charlie. And then we just got this little rat of I think it's a Yorkie combined with something. Mimi, what is it? Yorkie and a wiener dog. So it's a big fur ball that's like long, or a little fur ball that's long. So yeah, we have dogs. They're a pain in the ass, but they're ours. And more animals in the house. We have 5 kids combined, so that's fun. Other than that, just normal fam.
So I'll ask the question, which 90% of the time it's the standard answer. Would she like to hop on camera for a moment?
You froze up there, Chris.
I said the typical answer to this question is no, but would she like to hop on screen for a minute?
Okay. Mimi, do you want to come on screen? She's still eating dinner, so maybe in a minute.
Fair enough. So Quest Hunter at Our Shack Barbecue
she's topless too, so I'm sure that would get subscribers though.
What's that?
I said she's topless too, so I'm sure that gets some subscribers. Go put your shirt on. Come on. Finish your bacon. No. Sorry.
Quest Hunter at Our Shack Barbecue said, any bet CJ will be sipping bourbon and smoking a stogie. Well, I know what he's drinking, but I know. Tell him what you were going to do.
I was going to set it up in the backyard around the fire pit and then light up a cigar. But just the hectic part of the day, I was trying to, make dinner and, get the wolf down real quick and get this set up. And, I'm not tech savvy, so it took us a minute to get this all straight up. So you get to get me from my dining room. You got my little bar cart behind me so we can reach to that. Got a handle here just in case. Got some good things going on. The only thing is I'm not allowed to smoke in the house.
Fair enough. Every once in a while I see something in the comment section that I don't read who it's from, and then I see who it's from and I go, not sure how that's going to wind up.
Nice.
Yes, I'm talking about you, Green Bastard style. All right, so what made you decide to...
Sorry.
You're fine. Hey, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin just hopped on.
What up, Fred?
Along with Mike, you missed your question. He said it's awesome living in California. All right. So what made you decide to start a YouTube channel?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've always loved cooking. When growing up, I came from a split family too. Like it was just me and my mom growing up, and she taught me how to cook at a young age. And I just kind of kept going from there. When I moved out when I was 18, me and my roommate, my buddy, we started watching Food Network with Emeril Lagasse saying "bam" while we were making our spaghetti or whatever. And I just kept going with it. I love cooking. It's my stress relief. And obviously I love eating when I cook because I got a little bit of size. And what made me start filming it is my son, he's almost 17. He's a junior in high school, and he's in this media class. It's called an academy class. And he does editing and directing and producing. And, they have a little school TV show, for lack of a better word. And they have, he does all the highlight games for the football teams and all that stuff. So I know he's going in, he's looking at college, he's going into that. And I thought this would be a good way for him to kind of build a portfolio, doing my videos and, something for me and him to do together. So I thought that, it worked out pretty well, except once we started doing it, we realized that it actually takes quite a bit of time. And being that he's a high school kid. He has a little job. He's in a couple of AP courses. You know, he's always coming and going. It was hard for him to keep up with it. So, and I was getting impatient during the week. I'm like, you do it yet? You do it yet? You do it. So it just got to the point where I decided to take over like the editing and filming of it. And my lady films when he's not here, and when he's here, he films for me, and helps me kind of direct and set it up. But as much as I wanted it to be about him and I, it's kind of grown from there. It's given me a new kind of passion, new kind of drive to do something different, kind of take me out of my comfort zone a little bit. I have never had a problem like speaking in public, or in conferences at work. I can get in front of all the sales reps in the world, and I have no problem talking. But get in front of a camera, it's a bit different, and coming up with material to talk about and do things, and try to keep it fresh. And I had no idea that there was this huge community of YouTubers, and this was a thing. I was just going to throw it up there, see what happened. And then, it just kind of started growing from there, kind of like I said, fueling my drive, wanting to do bigger and better things. And, I don't ever think we're going to get rich off of this, but I wouldn't mind if I make a little bit of cash to pay for the food I'm making on it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So other than that, I mean, it's just, that's how it kind of grew and got me into it.
I like when so here's the thing with this show that's weird is I try to keep track of the chat, write things down. Sometimes I type in there every once in a while, but every once in a while I'll lose track of the chat and I'll be focusing on the person. And then I'll see something like Cooking Green Bastard Styles comment, which I'm assuming reads fuckhead, but I have no idea the context of what it belongs to.
Maybe he's trying to get your attention. That's great. I want to go to that guy's channel.
His channel is hilarious.
I'll check that out.
I'll send you a link to it after the show.
Yeah, that's cool.
Robert Roy Marion says, ask CJ how often does he come down to the San Diego area to party?
Well, the party, that's been a long time. I used to go down there for work. We had a branch down there, and we'd go down on like a Friday night, Friday to work, and then crash for the night or the weekend or whatever, and go out to dinner and have a few drinks. But I'm 41, man. I don't party too much anymore. I like to just drink, whiskey and smoke cigars, man. I don't. Every once in a while, I'll bust out some moves, get some JT or 90s hip hop on, but I ain't trying to get up and start dancing.
All right, Hickory Heat Barbecue showed up a while ago, but you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you. Dan Smoky Goodness.
Right on. Welcome, guys.
Scooter Too Cool. I'll make sure I didn't miss anybody. I hate being a dick and this thing scroll too far. And for some reason, I typically try to keep this quasi clean, but for some reason, I don't know. There's a click with you that my language barrier is just gone. Maybe it's because I haven't seen any little kid run behind you. Like typically something has always happened in every previous video in the word.
Well, when I was yelling at my lady over there, she said that the kids wanted to get on screen real quick. To shoot.
Oh, they're more than welcome to.
That's all right. I think I saw one just go upstairs. I got a dirty look and a run by.
All right. All right. I want to talk about your first video.
All right. The trailer or the actual cooking one?
The actual cooking one, which was Cajun something or another.
Cajun sausage and shrimp, I think.
So, for a guy that's not a cook, you have got some hella good knife skills.
Ah, thanks. I've managed to keep all of them,
All right. So what's your thoughts on your first video compared your first real video to today or the last video?
Well, the first video we were still kind of learning camera angles. I was still trying to speak clearly and I didn't have no script. It wasn't like I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to say and how I was going to do things. I was kind of really letting my son kind of run the show, but I noticed he kept cutting off my hat, right? And he was filming like we had the camera real low and he's, looking up at me or whatever. It just didn't quite vibe. But I mean, the gist of it got across, and obviously we had a little bit of fun with it. To like now, I'm obviously more comfortable in what I'm doing. I have no problem with being in front of the camera anymore. I feel like I'm pretty more comfortable with it. I have my little intro that I worked on about, thanks for coming by. If you're, a returning subscriber, love you guys. If you're new, click the bell. I've tried to take this thing and learn from it and go to like the video influencers type YouTube channels and Nick Nyman and all them guys to kind of get tips on how to have a successful, setup. So I kind of took little bits and pieces of that. I don't want to make it just exactly the way they do it, but they have some good advice and good tips on it. So I've noticed that things have gotten a little bit better. And what's funny to me is I have a buddy of mine who's an actor, and he's an actor in New York. His name's Kella. So he's a good dude, and we grew up together, high school, all that jazz. And anytime I do a video I'm particularly like proud of, like I had some personality in, or like we did a scene, or we did this or did that, I call him up. I'm like, "What do you think, bro? Where we at?" And he's like, "The guy I've done so far, and my favorite video so far, we've done 22 or something like that, is the Hangover one I did, the Hangover breakfast." And I felt like, I killed it. I felt like I acted, like I came out acting like I was hungover, all the booze like that's behind me was all over the counter, and I'm having to make room for it, and like to cook around the booze, and there's red Solo cups everywhere, and empty bags of chips and whatever. And I come out with my sunglasses on, hat turned backwards, and a girl's robe, and it just looked like a bum. And I'm like pausing to take a drink, and just try not to throw up, whatever, a typical hangover mood, right? So that's been my favorite one thus far. But I have noticed that each one is getting easier and easier. So, and I'm trying to find different ways to break it up a little bit, like with that poutine one. I've already finished the video. I shot it last week when I did the Chili Verde episode, and me and my older son Trent went to the grocery store, and I had him film me just standing on, I have a lifted truck with the steps that slide out, so I was hanging out on there, like, come with me, we're going in the store, blah blah blah. I'm just trying to break it up. Go in the store, just film what I made real quick, or what I bought real quick. Out store, peace out, right? And I'm like, I'm just trying to break it up, not just cooking and eating, or stupid dad jokes and whatever, just going from there. So I'm trying to find new ways to kind of break it up without losing what my goal is for the videos, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yes, sir. I was actually going to ask you about the hangover video, kind of. All right, let me do this. So you're very popular in the comments, so let me hit some of these questions, get caught up, because my scroll bar is like this far from the bottom already, which sounds like that's not a lot, but that's a crap load in the comments. Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know, what are some of your favorite bands?
My favorite bands? Well, I have an eclectic taste in music. I like country to hip hop. I like rap to rock and roll or whatever, so favorite bands, country, I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan. Like, I grew up with him in the 90s with the stupid pattern shirts, and used to do country line dancing and all that bullshit too. And 90s R&B, that hits me right in the heart, because that was when I was a teenager at high school dances, busting a move, getting down or whatever. I put hip hop, or not hip hop, trance music or house music or whatever on underneath my videos. One of my employees at work, he's a DJ, in his off time or whatever. So I'll put his stuff underneath my my talking every once in a while. Just give him a little shout out. He's on SoundCloud or whatever. And so I like everything, Bell Biv DeVoe from the back in the day, like, dude, seriously, Boys the Men, I'd go see them in Vegas right now if I could, man. I love those guys, man. I went to a concert when I was in high school, or just right out of high school. I was in college. Went to one of their concerts with a buddy of mine. I'm like, this looks so weird. Just two dudes going to Boys and Men. Well, that was a good time. I just reconnected with him recently, and he brought that up. He's like, dude, that was the weirdest date we've ever been on, bro. So I mean, that's about it. I mean, I don't really, I just like listen to music, and I hate talking. So like I have satellite radio on my truck, so I hit the buttons until I find no talking, you know. So if I'm listening to country and someone's talking, I'm going back to, you know, the Fly channel or whatever and hit that. You know, I hate talking in my radio. I just want to listen to it. Love Justin Timberlake. I know it's weird, but you know, his new song. I was actually at the grocery store on the way home, and I had my headphones in, and I'm like freaking dancing down the aisle. People looking at me stupid. I'm like, dude, it's Justin Timberlake. You can't mess with JT. So that's about it. I've embarrassed myself enough.
All right, Double J Barbecue wants to know, why, in your opinion, do you think your channel is not bigger?
Well, I'm only 3 months into the job. I mean, that might have some reason for it. I'll
say this: you're at what, 200 and something?
I was 222 right now, I think, when I was checking.
With what, 22 videos?
I have 22 videos, 202. Yeah, deuces are wild, man.
I mean, statistically, you're kicking my ass if you want to go by, you know, running the math across the board.
Right. Well, you know, I don't know. I'm a competitive as like get all out, and I don't want to fail at anything. So I just want to do the best I can with it. So that's why I do take the time to, you know, watch those guys. I just got a new subscriber right now, Ed Clark. Thanks, Ed. So anyway, that's it. I wanted to grow it. I want to make it as big as possible. And you know how you were going back to why I did the videos. I'm big into poker. Like, I love playing poker, and I play in the World Series once a year. One event once a year. And when I was going to play in it, I started watching poker vloggers. You know, like I didn't realize, like I said, there were so many people just doing vlogs about them playing poker and discussing hands and all that. So when I was kind of watching that, I'm like, this is something I could do with cooking, and that's kind of how I brought my son into doing it too. So, yeah, that's why. And I see that they grow, and you know, this is. I had no idea that this would be such a cool community to do anything with, like, you know, our YouTube's cooking channel group on Facebook. I mean, that's the most supportive people I've ever seen on Facebook. You know, I actually got off of Facebook years ago because I fucking hate it. I hate the religious. I hate the Trump this, Oprah that, whatever. I you know, Obama sucks. You know, the whole world. Like, I hate all that shit. I like Instagram because it's just pictures and memes or whatever the fuck they're called. So, but mem?
I thought you had said men.
No, it's not men. Although I do follow. Hey, don't judge. Do not judge. No, but I got back onto Facebook just so I could promote the channel and, you know, and all that. So you won't see my family stuff on Facebook. You won't see, you know, my people at work tag me and stuff when we're out to, you know, happy hours or, you know, recruiting dinners or whatever. You won't see my stuff on there. If anybody tries to tag me anything, I don't accept it and I don't put it on there. It is solely just for that. And of course, I troll other people's bullshit while I'm on the toilet like everybody else. But, you know, other than that, I don't use it for anything else.
All right. So my buddy Kent Vandeweerd has a question, but so his question is, what's your favorite cut of meat to cook or smoke? And so I think most every channel that Kent's watched on these interviews has been
a barbecue channel,
strictly barbecue. Well, so I'm gonna let's segue that question with this question. Put them both together. Is what's your channel all about, and kind of what's your style of stuff?
All right. Well, truthfully, I actually do like the barbecue. I do like to use my grill in the backyard. I've never really tried smoking things. The most I've attempted was taking like a pie tin and putting wood in it and trying to smoke it that way. I mean, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. But I'll make steaks, and I love tri-tip, and I know that was a big deal for a lot of people. Like, they don't get tri-tip in places. I had no clue, but I love tri-tip.
You bastards hog it all.
I guess so. California's a big state. Shit. I love ribeyes like you wouldn't believe. So I'll make ribeyes on the grill all the time. Trying to think what else. I mean, I love shrimp on the grill. I'm a big shrimp eater, so that goes on my grill a lot. Chicken's a pain in the ass, except I do thighs, so it kind of masks my, not doing. I don't like doing breasts on the grill because they get dried as fuck. But other than that, so my channel, what's about? What I kind of started out was geared towards men that don't really know how to cook. I've always kind of maintained that if you can read, you can cook. You can read a recipe, you can cook. But I do realize that it does take a little savvy to, put shit on the pan the right way, or use the right amount of butter this way or that way, or heat one way or the other, so on. So I kind of try to gear it towards men trying to learn how to cook, and, but anybody can make my recipes. So, that's why I leave all the ingredients. I leave the prep in there. I make it as simple as possible. That chili verde I did last week, it could not be any simpler. Like, seriously, it just cannot be simpler. It was opening 3 cans and throwing some chicken stock on the top, and you put it on the grill for a couple hours or in the oven. So to me, it was way too easy. So I'm trying to find stuff that's easy to make but tastes really good. And if you put it on a plate in front of somebody, it'll be tasty and they'll be impressed, So that's why, I have a lot of people. I asked on my Facebook, for ideas to make a dish, and for upcoming videos. And someone put something really complicated, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm like, I can't teach this to somebody. One, I've never made it myself, and 2, like it's gonna be too involved for anybody to do this. So that's kind of what my premise is. But anybody can learn what I'm doing. The dishes I'm making. It's like I said, I try to make it easy to do, and I think I have a pretty decent personality. So I hope to convey that. When I'm talking, have a lot of experience and stuff. And, I'm an amateur chef, just like most everybody that does these videos, but I know what tastes good together. I know it goes together well. And, I like cooking, and I'll even put on there, if like you want to know how to make a real chili verde, tomatillo, whatever sauce, I can go somewhere else, man. I'm going to teach you the easiest way to make it. And because I want to eat, I don't want to sit here and try to peel vegetables for days and roast them up and all that bullshit. I want to fucking eat. So that's kind of what I go with.
All right. So real quick, Keith Batag, I'm assuming he was taking a nap and somebody woke him up and said, hey, you're missing the hot seat. And he's like, oh shit, I got to watch it.
That's funny.
He just hopped on. All right, so you keep kind of skirting around this, and this was a question that is not on my list, but normally is what's your real job?
What's my real job? Chippendales dancer? No. I'm actually a funding manager, closing manager for a mortgage company. So home lending. Yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously that's not the most exciting profession around. So doing stuff like this is, really, kind of fueled a little bit of fire, and, got me excited about, I don't want to say I'm excited about life again, because, life is good. It's just, it's got me a little more pumped up to do some stuff, So
right.
That's it.
So this is kind of going back to your last answer. So I'm going to say this, and the last thing I want is crap in the comments going, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. So my mom died a couple years ago.
Yeah, mine too.
You got to understand that my dad, they were married up the entire time, and my dad worked, my mom stayed at home. So my dad had no flipping clue how to cook after she'd passed away.
Oh, right.
And now he's like, watching Gordon Ramsay how to make an egg type crap.
I watch that shit too.
I'm actually going to send him your channel just because, like you're saying, is it simple? Like he sent me a couple pictures at Christmas time of he made like green bean casserole and he was so proud of it.
Dude,
and
I
it was
love
like,
that.
Right.
Green
It's like,
casserole is my favorite.
and it was like, for me, like I've watched him like trying to figure this stuff out. And like you're saying, of making it simple, you know, you got people that watch YouTube because they want, you know, the big ass Dorito or whatever the hell it is. But then you got people that are, you know, wanting some complicated dish. And then you got people that, hell, I smoked a can of soup on one episode, but I'm sure that there's somebody that probably said, you know, that's not a bad idea.
That is awesome, man. I love that.
All right.
I'm actually, you're talking about your dad. You reminded me that I'm supposed to send him the link to this. So hold tight real quick while I send this to him real quick. You're about your mom passed in 2009 also. So, you know, it was very hard. You know, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. She was like one of my best friends, so it really did suck. So, feel free, bro. Not to get
Scooter Too Cool put Hobo Smoking and El Capone. See, I lose the chat. I have no idea what's going on. Scooter Too Cool, like, give me some context here. I'm missing something.
What was it that? Grilling. He just subscribed. I missed his name last week when you were interviewing. What was his name?
Chris Peltz.
I really enjoyed that. The time I had watching that last week, you know, I was on the road. That was pretty funny. I love the kind of the self-deprecating, you know, you can't make fun of a blind guy, like saying, watch this, you know, whatever.
Came out with something on Facebook of like the most, I can't remember how the hell Chris worded it, but it was like
PC,
the least PC intro for a blind guy. And I watched it and it, you know, it cracked me up. Your cigar. Are you talking about this, Scooter? This is a Fisher Space Pen. It writes in outer space. It's really cool. Plus, it fits in my pocket nicely when I'm not writing with it, and it writes really good. Probably because I sit here and I spin it, it probably looks... I think I remember being in the early 20s and smoking those little cigarillos or whatever the hell they were called.
Yeah, the Swisher Sweets. Those were badass back in the day.
All right. So what's a weekday meal look like at your house?
To tell you the truth, it's we do kind of eat a lot of fast food. Like I cook on the weekends or Tuesdays. You know, we'll go out to eat. But with all the kids, 2 of my boys are in sports right now. Three of the boys are in sports or about to be in sports. 2 are getting ready for baseball. 1's in basketball, and then that's it. The girl doesn't play any sports right now, so we're kind of moving and grooving. You know, there's not a whole lot of time for eating, you know, proper dinners. But like tonight, you know, we made eggs and bacon and sausage and had breakfast for dinner, which I always love. So that was good. But if I'm just cooking, you know, I like a meat and a potato and, you know, a cheating vegetable like green beans or something like that, where I don't feel like I'm eating a vegetable, or asparagus. But, you know, that's pretty much it. Real simple. I don't put a lot into the weekly stuff.
Right. So Raleigh Smoke just dropped in. What's up?
That's good flavor.
So Scott, aka In for the Girl Barbecue, wants to know, where do you get your cigars and liquor?
Well, I can't tell you. I don't want to get in trouble. No, I'm kidding. My cigars, you know, the ones that are, you know, not from Cuba, come from cigars.com. You know, they got a pretty good setup there. And then I went every time I go to Mexico, which has lately been once a year. I make sure I go find a reputable cigar dealership there and buy 10 to 20 there, you know, maybe a box. And then I have buddies that know I'm into cigars, so if they travel, they bring some home for me. Sometimes like loan officers want to bribe me to move their file through a little bit sooner than others, and I'll get some cigars put on that, or get bottles of booze dropped off at my desk. My office, there's a spot in my office that looks like a goddamn bar. So I have a refrigerator in my office that I keep ice cubes in, the rounded ice cubes, and frozen tumbler glasses in there too, just because we haven't done so much lately, but for a long time there, every Friday we'd be spending in one of the manager's offices and enjoying a few drinks and having a good time. So that's it, man. The booze, shit, dude, it comes from wherever. I like Total Wine and More. They have a huge selection of stuff. I like trying new stuff. I like trying new whiskeys, but for the most part, I'm a Crown Royal guy. I love Crown. Pendleton, actually, that's a Canadian whiskey that someone hit me to. I think we were in Vegas a while ago, and I wanted a Crown after dinner, and the bartender offered me Pendleton, and it's real vanilla-y, real sweet, and I just loved it. So I probably drank the whole bottle that particular time. So it was a good night. Anyway, so that's it. Yeah.
All right. So before I forget, I don't know, probably 20 some minutes ago, Blind Grillin asked what I thought of the rub. So here's what I did. Last week, I hooked up with him before the show, and I said I'd like to give away 2 bottles, a rub. And then I ended up, after the show, bought 2 bottles just for myself. So, Chris, I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I'm actually trying it tomorrow for the first time. I mean, I did the old stick my finger in there taste thing, and I don't have a palate that's distinguishable enough to be able to tell what it's going to be like on cooked meat, but I didn't go, so I always figure that's going to be good. The other thing is, if you didn't watch the show last week, go click on it at some point in time. Probably Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to run the random comment generator, and whoever it hits on, we're going to do it twice. You get a bottle of the limited edition Blind Grillin rub. It'll get sent to you probably in a couple days. So you got really good odds right now because only a handful of people left comments.
All right, I'm gonna jump on there. Shit, I'll do that right now while we're talking.
All right, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin has got to go to bed.
Nice.
So good night, sir.
Good night, fellows.
All right. That's the problem with doing a live stream is you can't leave a comment if you got to leave early. And then people go, shit, I forgot to leave a comment.
Nice.
Is the contest open to us Canucks? Scott asks. Hell yeah, it's open to you Canucks. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, we can figure out a way to ship it. It might cost me a little bit more, but I don't give a shit.
Tell him he needs to come get it.
Meet me at the border, Scott, and I'll throw it over the fence or lake or river or whatever the hell it is betwixt you and us.
Bring some Cubans with them.
Yeah. All right. All right. This is actually a really good question. I don't know. Do you follow Andy Cook's Foods channel?
I think so. I mean, sometimes I have a hard time. Oh yeah, I've seen it a couple times. Yeah.
He does like all the weird like Japanese candies and sodas and random crap like that.
Right.
So this question is to you. Who would win in a fight, 90s Steven Seagal or 90s Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Shit, I saw that earlier this week, and I've been struggling with it all week long. Shit, dude. I think Seagal would. That fat bastard would figure out a way to kick his ass. He'd catch that little skinny bastard and beat him. Yeah. I think Seagal's got those weird Aikido moves. He's got Van Damme.
Plus, it would be almost 30 years ago. 28 years. My math's not good.
Damn, dude. That's a long time ago.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
How old are you?
41.
All right. I'm 37, 38. I quit counting it.
You're a 90s kid, too. Yeah. Your formative years were in the 90s. That's all right.
Marion, aka Robert Roy, wants to know what's the most exotic meat you've ever cooked.
Shit, dude. I feel like there's a way we could go south with that. Not just I don't know. Shit, dude, seriously, fucking steak. I mean, I've never gone out of the ordinary. It's either been beef, chicken, or pork, or shrimp of some sort.
I'm the same way. Don't feel bad.
I'm not in trying like ostrich or fucking bison or whatever,
Uh-oh, you're gonna piss off Smoky Goodness if he's still on.
It's stuff like that. I just can't bring myself to trying that stuff. It's kind of scary.
Right.
I'm nervous.
All right.
Damn it.
I was just getting ready to get down.
I was trying to click on the grill deal. I want to leave a comment. And I got my phone. I'm going to leave a comment so I can win some rub.
You're getting stuck paying me 1/3 of a penny for your view.
Oh, shit.
Oh. So, Dan, what's funny is Smoky Goodness made a comment. He's put, "Hey, now, joking. Don't." I've never met Dan, but I feel like I know Dan well enough from these chats and stuff to know that you're not going to make him mad. But my local hippie store, which they're called Fresh Time, I don't know if that's like a nation chain or if it's a Midwest thing, but it's like an Earth Fair.
Yeah, we have like Whole Foods out here and Sprouts and probably the same type of thing.
Yeah, they're starting to get, this place has a bunch of elk sausage and bison sausage, but it all comes frozen, so I don't know whether it's going to be very good.
I've heard like buffalo is pretty good, but I don't know. Other than that, I've never really branched out.
All right, maybe you know what the hell this is. Robert Roy said, "CJ, I'm getting you some balut when you come to San Diego." If that's like fucking meth or shit, Robert Roy, I'm gonna be pissed I said this.
Meth? I have never heard of balut. Is it like fish roe or something? Come on, Robert, put it in there. What are we looking at?
Yeah, Robert, what's balut and Scooter Too Cool? Where in Northern Indiana? I grew up in Northwest Indiana. I'm just kind of curious for myself. Keith Bettag says we got a Fresh Time opening up in 2 weeks. Keith, they've got an amazing organic, non-GMO. God, I feel like a Barlow right now making these comments like garlic spaghetti sauce that I bought. Oh, Jesus Christ. I bought just because I was there, and that shit is amazing, Keith. So you might want to check it out. Add some GMO and some vegan, non-vegan shit.
Like, what's the point? That balut, I was watching the comments. I remember where I heard it from. I was like watching the Travel Channel or Bizarre Foods. It's, if you look in the comments, it's undeveloped duck embryo or chicken embryo or whatever. And no, I would not eat that. There's no way in God's green earth I would try that shit. Baby chicken, perfect.
There's even an emoji for that. That's the world we live in today.
That's awesome.
We went from Egyptian hieroglyphics to written text, and now we're right back to hieroglyphics.
Excuse me, sorry. That's
Mike wants to know what's the weather.
That's the weather. Here, hold on real quick. I'll pull up my weather app and share.
Kent says baby chicken on meth.
Chicken on meth. I love it. One sec.
Baby chicken. Hell, I don't even like wing. Don't like wings, Keith. I felt like we had this budding relationship.
All right, fellas. Here's the weather. It's a nice 62 degrees. It's clear. All the stars are out. Hell, this would have been a great night by the fire pit. Yeah, damn it. Had to be in a hurry.
I mean, if at any point you want to like walk the whatever the hell you're recording on out there.
All right. I have to do that.
I mean, that's up to you. I don't care either way.
Let me let's do this.
Just don't lose power, but I'll be here. I can freestyle.
Well, I think I'm good. I'm not plugged in. You guys get
good because I can't freestyle for shit.
Well, come on.
I'm not one-eyeing it at this point, so we'd be all right.
All right. So we got there's the set. And then there's Mimi. There's the theater. All right. Let's see. Let's go outside here. I'll show you the. Huh? No, I got it. So I'm gonna plug the lights in so you can kind of see what's going on. It is so nice outside.
What's up, Barbecue? I just seen him pop on.
Right on. All right. So get the backyard. Do you see it?
Yeah.
All right. So there's the pool, the koozie, the dope spot to hang, and then you want to see the dogs. There you go. You see them?
Yeah.
All right. The big one's Charlie. The other one's Paris. They're both little bastards. So we have this pool gate up, so the kids don't fall in. Mimi turn on the lights for us in the pool, so it looks all pretty. All right, keep walking. Making me work over here.
See, this is the stuff I like, is that people like seeing these.
I swear I'm going to fall in this damn pool. All right,
hey, it's worth it.
Yeah, right. So this is the area I like to smoke my cigars with the fire pit. So that's it. You got to see the dope spot. Now I have to manage not to drop this $2,000 Mac in the pool. Get my ass kicked. So, all right. So that's it. I'm gonna go back inside though. So, turn off everything.
I think Cooking Green Bastard style, maybe hopping the border from Canada and come and visit you.
Yeah, bring it. Everybody's always welcome. That was just a quick tour. You turn the pool lights back off. Thank you. Oh, I'm out of breath, dude. You can't make this big old boy walk around. Shit. And we're back.
I got people that are watching the show messaging me on Facebook Messenger, probably assuming I wouldn't get to it, but I'm like, oh, he's sitting down. I'll pull my phone up and see if I missed anything important. I got a cookie from.
I haven't seen any more subscribers. So if you're watching this thing and you're not subscribed to my channel, get on it, man.
Yes, the link's down below. I've literally made it lazy proof. You got to click one thing. Well, you got to click two things, that and then sub.
That's funny.
Texas Style Cuisine says, if my kid falls into my pool, he can walk his ass right back out.
Well, I agree. It's become less about the kids because all the kids know how to swim. My youngest is 7. He still has a little bit of challenge swimming, but I learned how to swim by getting thrown in the deep end and don't drown. So I'm about ready to do that for him. But it's now for the little dogs so they don't fall in and freeze or whatever. Like they're just pain in the ass. We lost some viewers.
All right.
What the hell?
It happens. Like, typically, don't look at that because it'll sit there and it'll go right at the beginning. It'll be 25, then it'll go like randomly from 13 to 25, and then you'll wake up and we'll get done and it'll be somewhere near 100, and then you wake up in the morning, or 80 to 100, and you wake up in the morning because you got people like Big Lou Barbecue, whoever, that have crap going on at night, and then they watch it. So I can't remember. Somebody had a really good, like, right off the rip. And I don't know if just everybody tuned in and then, but like there was no like trickle effect after. It was like everybody that was going to watch it watched it.
Right on.
But now what I'm noticing is like it'll go from today, right now, to like Sunday, Monday, to where then you get like the onesie, twosie views.
Right on.
So Kent Vanderweer just sent me a picture that says, "A man, a can, a plan, 50 great guy meals even you can make." And it looks like it's a can of soup. What the hell that is?
The little dogs are on their own. What the fuck?
Some meat and some veggie. Oh, I'm not good at this whole.
I don't know what that is.
Right. All right. Robert Roy wants to know if you'd ever cook live on YouTube.
You know, I would. I have no problem doing that. I haven't yet. And a lot of people have asked if my friends and family and whatever have asked if they could actually come over and either cook with me or watch me while I cook or whatever. And I figure I will eventually do that type of stuff, but I want to get more comfortable doing what I'm doing and not have to worry about cooking, telling the camera what I'm doing, explaining everything, and then have banter with people. So I probably won't do that for a little bit until I get a little more comfortable. And then cooking live, I don't know. It takes a long time to, actually make a meal and prep the meal and all that stuff. I know Robert does it. Robert Roy does it a lot on his channel. I see it almost every morning. But I don't know if I'd do that yet. I'm sure I'll get comfortable enough with this stuff and do it, but I'm not in a big hurry. But I would like to get people here, to chat with. And if I could, one of my long-term goals is to make this where I could actually, teach people, have them come with me, and film the teaching part of it or whatever, but actually have them come to my house and, learn how to cook a specific dish or, get some basics down or, whatever, just, have something like that going and obviously film it just to make it, more content,
Right. All right. We're right at an hour, which makes me happy.
No, that's good.
My biggest fear on any of these hot seats has been that I get somebody that comes on and you ask them a question. It's yes, no.
Right. Well,
what's your job, teacher?
Mold young minds. Well, luckily I can hold a conversation and want to chat. I like talking, so I have no problem with it. And I don't.
All right, so
I don't have to hide.
I'm going to ask you this question only because I've got to pee.
Do it.
So this should give you enough time for me to be able to do that. 3 channels you watch, 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be much bigger than they currently are.
Oh shit! All right, go. The biggest channel I think I'm watching right now is Binging with Babish. To me, that's just the way he speaks is so clear, and what he's doing it's very interesting how he does it. And he's one of those ones that he was an overnight sensation growing his channel. From what I understand, he went from 1,000 viewers to 1 million, damn near overnight. So that's a big one I watch. I watch T. Roy Cooks. For whatever reason, that guy just strikes a chord with me. He is very interesting to watch. I love that he does the Thursday chats. I think he does some good stuff. I like his personality with it. I like that he has a good vibe with the camera. So that's pretty cool. And the little channels that could do better or could grow. I think my own channel should be the one growing. But In for the Grill, I like your channel, man. You do good stuff on there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's Chris. I think your channel should be a lot bigger. I don't know if you can hear me while you're playing with your. If you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it. Be careful.
That's what's weird is I can hear it. I can hear when people are talking. I've had to do that, I think, once before.
Okay, cool. So the littler channels, like I said, I think you're doing a great thing with this. I think this is out of the ordinary. So you should be growing. There's a new guy that Jay Malone, I think his name is, Southern style cooking or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah.
He's new to the deal, and I think his profession is photography and whatnot. So he started up a YouTube channel doing smoking and stuff. I think he has very good content and very good filming and angles and all that. And the DQ'd barbecue, I don't know the guy's name offhand, but he's another one that he's doing good stuff. He's brand new. He's doing good stuff. He's growing. So there's a lot of good stuff.
That's one thing.
This whole community is like pretty dope, man.
Right. There was a comment somewhere. I missed it. If somebody's got a question, they'll ask again.
Right.
We heard you peeing. No, you didn't. Don't lie.
I just went under the table, so don't worry about it.
I've got this handy dandy directional mic that only records this way and not these ways.
Right on.
I paid extra for that just so I could be able to pee.
Hey, Mimi, can you give me some ice, please? Can I get a glass of ice, please? Sorry.
Meathead says,
what's in that fat lip of yours right now?
Kodiak.
Kodiak. Little copy, little cope, little scope.
All right.
I used to do that shit. I do that. I put a lip in once a year back in the day, just to remind me why I don't fucking do that anymore. But my worst experience with it, I was a freshman in college playing football at a small school around here, and I thought I was a badass. And we were watching film from the game before. Thank you. Watching film from the last week's game or whatever, and all the older guys were putting lips in, dude, spitting in cups. I'm like, dude, I got this. I'm a man now. I'm 17, 18. I got this. And I didn't realize we had to run afterwards. I didn't realize we had to practice afterwards. So I ended up throwing up all up and down that field. So I kind of let that one go.
So Kent followed up on that picture he sent me. He said that's an actual cookbook that he thought CJ would like. I'll send you. I'll forward that to you here after the show.
Right on. Right on.
All right. Favorite video you've made and why?
Well, we kind of touched on it. It was that hangover video. It was actually putting effort into, I had some kind of script set up, in my mind how we're going to do it. I had props. I had, costume or wardrobe, for lack of a better word. And I felt like that really came across the way I wanted to do it. And it fell into place. And I told you my buddy that's an actor just raved over it. I'm really, and I'm not showing hubris or I'm not bragging, but I am really surprised that video hasn't done more. I think it's only got like 200 views and it's been, a month or two, probably 2 months. And just the effort I put into that one, and it's just making eggs and biscuits and gravy and bacon. It's not that big of a deal. It wasn't a huge cooking learning thing, but I really thought that one was going to kind of take off and have more hits on that one. But it is what it is.
So this is the one thing I figured out.
What's that?
My first video, I made a cheesesteak video where I only had this little GoPro mounted to a post that I had to work around like this on the griddle.
Nice.
And for whatever reason, YouTube said, "Hey, new channel, whoop." And by whoop, I mean it was like probably 200 views.
Oh, right on.
And then every video after that for the first 20 got like 20 views.
Nice.
Roughly, give or take.
Right.
But that video for the longest time was my highest rated video because it just kept slowly inching along.
Right.
Well, then I started my second channel, and this is what I've noticed. My first video did the same thing. went straight to 200. Now, credit being given, I vaguely made a note about it on my channel that's right here.
Right.
But right now I'm sitting there with 22 subscribers, I think. And I put out some, random I made that channel more just to kind of figure out some editing stuff and kind of put it out there, just kind of a place to be type thing. But it seems like your first video on YouTube, they push you. Your second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. video, you got to work for it.
Right. And I'm with that. I understand that. I even put, Tube Buddy on my YouTube channel. So it helped me with like the keywords and all that jazz. So I just learned about, I set up a fan page for Facebook for my channel, and just this week, like a few days ago. And I actually put $25 into boosting one of my links to the video. And I've noticed that I got it was right about the time I posted about how, about to get to 200 subscribers. I'm like, guys, if you haven't done it, help me out, whatever. Right about the time I did that, and I got tons of views on my last video, double what the prior video did, and got a handful of new subscribers. I know I just got one right now at Azrael's Pit Barbecue. Is that right? All right, cool. He just subscribed, so I appreciate that. I saw him in the chat, so that's cool. So I don't know. I don't really know what's better, views or subs or whatever. But I'm very like, I don't say goal oriented. It's not like I'm getting all like fucking Tony Robbins on everybody, but I want to beat yesterday's work, right? I want to be better than yesterday. So I want to get more subscribers, just because, not because I think I want to get rich off of this. I think I just want to get more subscribers. I just want to win. I want to have the best, right?
So Keith Betag says he likes to call YouTube GooTube. Says, ain't never pushed my videos. I just do what the fuck I want to do. Well, Keith, when you started YouTube, there was only 3 other people on YouTube.
They had internet back then? Shit. I watched a couple of Keith's videos, and dude, that guy just gives no fucks about anything, and I love that. That is freaking awesome.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Okay, first off, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, so don't take anything, and I don't mean just CJ, I mean anybody here. But
right.
I watch a lot of stuff. I'm subscribed to a lot of channels. I watch all the same stuff you do of,
right.
Roberto Blake, whoever the hell you want to pick. And at the end of the day, the one thing I've figured out is there's no real math to this at this early in the game. When you get to a point where the algorithm's pushing you and you can do this, this, and this, and piggyback. I'll give you a good example. Everyday Barbecue put out a cheesesteak video today.
Yeah.
I can see in my analytics that I'm getting views because I'm a recommended video off of his.
Oh, okay.
The people are watching his, and then in the queue on the right side is my videos in there. The only reason I notice is because I'm watching his video and my video is recommended to me, and I'm going, why the hell would YouTube recommend my video back at me?
That's awesome.
But somehow it's figured out that Everyday Barbecue was in the hot seat, did a whole bunch of math, and figured out that, hey, this might be a recommended video. When I looked at my analytics, I got 12 views today since he posted that on that video. And the only thing that makes sense is that it's all mathing together.
Right. I think, the algorithm of Google or, YouTube or whatever, it's, people a lot smarter than us, get to figure that shit out. I figure if you just keep doing what you're doing and keep doing these videos and, doing this is awesome. This is fun. This is something that, I never thought, anybody give a fuck about what I have to say, but, doing this, or, T-Roy doing his Thursday chats and, putting questions on there. Like literally his idea, he answered one of my questions. His thing gave me 2 videos, 3 more or less. I mean, the smoker box that I used, I used it on the tri-tip, I used it on the Chili Verde, and I did two videos off the Chili Verde. And to me, that's cool as hell. It's something completely different than what I ever thought this would be. I had no real experience from YouTube. Every once in a while, I pull it up to watch like a movie trailer or something like that. But my only other experience besides that was, like I said, the poker vlogs. Watching this guy named Trooper97. He's a Vegas blogger. Andrew Nemi, he's a poker guy. Brad Owen. These guys that I was able to see how they do their things. And other than that, I had no idea what YouTube was. I mean, really.
The only thing I'll tell you is that I actually was talking to, I'm not going to name drop on here, but
somebody the guy behind the guy.
Somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing in the cooking community today. And I said, hang on, Scooter Too Cool said, Hobo, that's exactly how I found your channel. Are you talking about the cheesesteak video, Scooter? I think I feel like I remember a comment from you. But, I'm weird in the fact that I'll look at somebody else's analytics. You can go on Social Blade and you can see how many videos they put out, how many subs they have, and you can literally go through all their stuff and see on December 25th they had this many subs and this is where they're at. Subs versus views. Mm-hmm. There's people with more subs than me that have less views than me.
Right.
So you got to take that into account of, you can get 300 people to hit that subscribe button, but if they only watch YouTube once a year,
yeah, there's no point, right?
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. That's the kind of stuff I was learning too, because I was looking at, I'm not as savvy or as involved on the analytic part of it, but I did happen to notice that 50% of my sub is watching, or 25% or whatever it was, and I'm like, I know that's not a good rate, so I try to gear the videos towards, I try to put the right tags in there and try to get ranked with those tags, using the TubeBuddy thing or the related channels. I want to get on those things. So I think in the beginning, a lot of it is just the social media part. I have 2 Instagram accounts, one my own personal one, and then one I set up for the cooking channel. And I put the weekly alerts on there, and then I do the Facebook, and then I have a Facebook page, so those are my ways of getting kind of grassroots views, lack of a better way of putting it. And then I actually started carrying business cards. I put that up on my social media. I have business cards that have the link to all my social media, to the YouTube channel. So because a lot of people find out about it and ask me about it, and I'm like, well, go to YouTube and say cooking with CJ. Now I can actually hand them something. It was $20 bucks to get 500 cards. So I'm doing and I find myself when we go to restaurants and I'm paying the bill, I'll put a couple of cards in there too. So it's fun. Well, if they throw them away, they throw them away. But I think it's pretty funny.
I made a video. I don't care. I made a video that was, people didn't like, and somebody made a comment in there and they said, oh, well, you've gotten 300 views and you have 400 subscribers. So you've, somehow figured out a way to get 80% of your subscribers to watch. And I'm going, none of this is true.
Nice.
For some reason, people think, that you don't come across other random channels. But if you look at it when you're early on and you sit there and go, okay, subbed versus unsubbed views is 50%. In my head, I thought I was winning. But then when you talk to people that have 100,000 subscribers, their views are mostly coming from non-subscribers. And I think it might have been Ballistic Barbecue said it in the comments, or said it when I had him on here. He said, when you get people making comments in your videos that you don't recognize, that's when you know you're doing something right.
Right.
All right. Funniest thing that has happened while recording that we never saw after editing.
My fiance flashed me while I was doing the intro. And then had a hot chocolate and was licking the whipped cream suggestively. So I could barely make it through my intro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard her. She just said you're welcome. So other than that, I mean, I made the mistake of trying something right off the pan, right out of the pan, burn the shit out of my mouth, trying to get that. But I try not to. I cut out the most embarrassing stuff. But I wish I would have kept it for like a blooper, thing. I wish I would have done that, but unfortunately I didn't. Because there's a lot of stuff where I'll start off like, welcome to CJ, thanks for coming by, blah blah blah, and I'll forget what I was gonna say with it, and I'm like, fuck you YouTube, and fuck you the camera, and it's like everybody in the room, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you. Yeah.
I started doing those outtake videos for a while, and then I can't remember if it was last week or the video before that where I got hung up in the lapel mic and actually knocked the camera over.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I kept it in the video because I'm like, I can't not put this in there.
That's funny.
I was just happy the camera kept working after that. I was scared shitless that I broke a $300 camera.
It's crazy. I was talking about doing the using, I got this Mac, but I was using my iPhone for filming and editing. Well, at Christmas, you're talking about the expensive camera. My office, at my team, and then a bunch of the managers in the office got together and bought me a new Canon Rebel shot. So I've been able to. That's how I've been doing my new videos. I got this brand new whoop-de-doo camera. And it's pretty freaking cool. I was excited about that. But I make sure I don't have a lapel mic on.
Lapel mic for $50 gives you awesome sound comparatively, but
I know I would walk away and knock that shit down. That's what we talked about it because I actually had it in my hand, and now I use a shotgun mic on the camera. But I had the lapel mic in my hand, going, I can make this work. The camera, it films from far away. I can do this. I know that the moment I turn to like whatever, the whole fucking thing is blowing up. So
my problem's either that or I forget there's a little switch on there to turn it on.
Oh yeah.
And I've recorded so many things. Hell, my Slow and Steer video, I recorded the entire last segment and you can't hear a damn thing. So I had to re-record it and couldn't get what I...
All 4 of my appetizer that appetizer playlist video I did, I did 5 videos. I used that new camera, and I had a lapel mic that I just had from my iPhone that was just a 3-foot cord. So it was just like, plugged in, we're filming. And I did not set the camera to manual microphone, so I missed everything I recorded. And I had some pretty good material on there. I was like, I was rapping and doing my thing, doing, whatever. So I had to go back to when I was, doing the editing. I had to do the voiceover with this deal and just be like, and here I'm doing this and this, this, and this. And, I hit the bacon for some reason, but, whatever. So.
All right, so I'm going to rapid fire you with some Meathead questions because...
I love Meathead. That guy is the shit, dude. I hope he's still on.
He is. He just posted a question, and then he's made the list of permanent questions. So we'll start with the chat before I forget it. What's your least favorite foods?
Brussels sprouts. And most vegetables, truthfully.
Yeah. All right, just because I hate Brussels sprouts. What's your feelings on asparagus?
I can deal with asparagus if you cook the shit out of it. If you put it on the grill and get nice burns on it, or you cook it with, like I use bacon fat. Obviously, you've seen a lot of my videos. I use bacon fat a lot. Put the bacon fat, some butter, and do it in the frying pan. It's a lot more edible and actually pretty tasty. But if it, like, I actually got some with my dinner on Tuesday, and it was not cooked enough, not enough char marks, and I didn't eat it because it just didn't taste good. So you got to burn the shit out of it or cook it in fat, just like anything else.
All right, the other question is the permanent list or permanent question on the list is what is your signature dish?
Braised beef short ribs. That was actually, I think it was the second video I did or third video I did. It is my favorite thing to do. It is completely easy to do. And I love the way it turns out. It's very, very, very good.
So for our poutine challenge, I'm not going to give this away. By the way, if you guys don't know about the poutine challenge, there's 6 Americans, me, CJ, and 4 others, because I will fuck this up if I try to ramble them off. And there is 6 Canadians led by In for the Grill BBQ. That, okay, first off, this is for funsies.
Hey, I'm just saying this real quick. I'm interrupted. I'm watching the chat too. Meathead says Trump's got 2020. It's going to Oprah. I don't know if you guys watched. Sorry.
I'm not going to get political, but Seal came out today with a tweet on Oprah that was quite hilarious.
Oh, dude, I saw one of those meme things about it. It was like every Democrat was bitch, and I'm not political. I'm very independent, you know, whatever. I don't give a fuck either way. I think they're all corrupt, so that's my opinion on shit. But it was like every Democrat was bitching about a former TV star, billionaire, running for president, and then all of a sudden, Oprah the next day. Oprah's the one. She's gonna win. Former TV star, billionaire.
So Meathead put Trump's got it. Meathead 2024.
I'd vote for him.
Well, here's the problem, Chris. I have a Facebook page that I've had for a year and a half now. That's Chris Nichol for President 2024.
No shit. Really? Stop.
I made it as a joke, and I actually had somebody send me a message to join a group for like presidential candidates in 2024, like a year ago. And I'm like, what the hell is it? Like, you're taking me seriously?
That's awesome. You know, I forgot to do something here. I was going to do this, and I want to put it on social media. Get my fat fucking head in this. Did you just flip off my viewers? Oh my, dude! I think I'm gonna put that up there.
You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
That's awesome. I'm gonna throw that up.
I'm good with being hated. I've already surpassed that once. I can get through it a second time if need be.
Shit. That's funny. So sorry, me questions.
I think that was all of them for the moment. I'm going to do this. We're an hour and 22 minutes minus the 5 minutes, which takes us to an hour and 17 minutes if my math is right. If you got some questions, put them in the chat now, because we got like 2 or 3 left. So,
hey, Meathead, I'm sorry. I only like a few veggies.
All right. Christy's Cooking Channel question that made the list. The best and the worst thing you've ever cooked?
Shit. Best thing is beef short ribs I make, or you know, the ribeyes that I do. You know, they're really good. The worst thing I've ever made. You know, fuck, I don't know. There's not too much that I make that isn't fucking delicious. I'm serious.
The man's humble as shit.
For real, dude. I mean, what? I'm gonna holler out. Mimi, what did I make that wasn't good? Or as good as others? How about that? Oh, she did not like my pot pie, but it was adequate. Oh, go away. Go back to the kitchen. Get back in the kitchen, make me a pie. Anyway, yeah, the chicken pot pie wasn't. It was the first thing I ever made. You know, like it's the first time I ever made it. It was just not the favorite, and I thought it tasted fine. It just didn't have a lot of flavor. You know, I didn't put enough seasoning, I don't think, or whatever. But it was fine to me. That's about it. I mean, I've tried to make gravy a few times. If you don't do this the right way, like I put too much grease in it. Like I didn't get enough of the grease from the sausage out or whatever, and it was just like a puddle of grease over the top. So I had to put that in the trash. Other than that, truthfully, you know, I cook, you know, pretty well. I don't think of anything that's too bad. But the way I cook is I'm not afraid to fail. You know, that's my biggest thing is if it sucks, you know, Domino's is a phone call away. You know, no one's going hungry in their house. So that's kind of how I go with it.
All right. Hickory Heat Barbecue Kenneth says, CJ, what's the next grill session?
You know, it might be a few minutes, a few videos. I have the poutine one that's going to release this weekend, and I don't know. I don't know that my grill has the really capacity. Like I'd love to do like a brisket. You know, I love me some brisket, but I don't know if it would, you know, if I could do such a long cook on it because it's not that big of a grill. It's just a, you know, kind of a 2-burner or whatever. I don't know. I have to think about that. I like doing the barbecue stuff. Like I said, I do the one. I'm the one that does most of the barbecuing. We do carne asada and pollo asada all the time. Obviously, it's just, you know, it's prevalent around here in Southern California. And it's quick, it's easy, it's fast, you know. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do something like that. You know, unfortunately, if I try to keep claiming like Southern California, it's, you know, the diversity down here, the ethnic diversity. You know, there's a lot of Hispanic culture and food, so we eat a lot of that. You know.
Right. Scooter Too Cool wants to know favorite knife.
We have these Cutco knives here that it's I think it's a 5-inch blade, pretty thick. It's heavy. It's got a nice heft to it. So I use that in pretty much everything I do. And it's good at chopping. I feel I have like good control with it. You said something about my chopping skills. Like I feel like I have good control with it. And I'm very, you know, cognizant about bending my fingers back so I don't cut the tops off, right? So that's it. I don't sharpen them. The rep that we use for the Cutco, he'll come to the house and sharpen them, and obviously try to sell us on more. The only knife I don't have, and I really want, I want a cleaver. You know, like one I could fucking, you know, go crazy on. You know, but other than that, it's just that little 5-6-inch knife that, you know, takes care of everything.
So my dad actually sent me a picture yesterday. So he retired. He's got 2 places, one in Michigan during the summer, one in Florida during the winter. And he went to the flea market and picked up, I got to talk so you can see, that many knives for $8 at the flea market.
That's crazy.
And they gave him a basket to take them home in. They're Harborware, which isn't a shitty brand, but there's, I don't know, 15 knives for $8.
That's awesome. Shit, I would buy that.
Robert Roy wants to know, you doing a Super Bowl cooking video?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. You know, maybe adding like kind of appetizer, you know, style with it too, but like more substantial appetizers. You know, like wings and meatballs. You know, stuff that, you know, you're really gonna, you know, finger food type things to eat. I've thought about doing that. Usually for Super Bowl, I'm in Vegas, so you know, we'll be in the room or the suite. Sorry, I got an itch on in front of my eye. I'm not trying to cover my face. We'll be in the suite or whatever, and most of the time we'll end up watching the game from the suite. You know, just ordering room service. So I haven't actually been to a real Super Bowl party here in a long time because I like it in Vegas. You know, I like the vibe there when it's time, and it's, you know, 3.5 hours away from me, so it's a quick jaunt.
So, what's your thoughts on the Raiders move?
I mean, you know, it's not. I honestly don't have a professional football team that I really follow. I like all football. You know, I grew up. I'm a bit. I played for a lot of years. I love football, but I said, I was telling my buddy that I work with is a really big Raiders fan. I said, if they actually get through the league and voting to go to Vegas, that I would become a season ticket holder. You know, just because I like to go, it gives me an excuse to go out there. Vegas is like my Disneyland. I love going there. It's my favorite spot. You know, I like playing poker. I like gambling. I eat well when I go out there, whatever. I even took my son, my oldest, on a tour of UNLV. I'm like, yeah, if you go here, I could come and check on you, you know, a little bit, you know. So, anyway, I'm in for it. I was going to get season tickets till I realized that the PSLs, the private seat licenses, were going to blow it out of the water and it was way too expensive. So I'll catch a game or two.
Right.
I love John Gruden. You know, and they just hired him back for 10 years. I think he's a nut job, so it'll be fun to watch him. I'm a big USC fan. So that's my football following through the year. But I'll bet on anything. I'm a degenerate gambler, dude. So
I didn't get too bad at contract. 10 years, $100 million.
shit, I hope it's all guaranteed. He'll be gone in 2 years. Also buco. Yeah, I'd be into that meat.
All right, explain that to me because that's not a Ohio thing.
Osobuco, it's a braised lamb shank. It's kind of done the same way you do like braised short ribs. As far as I know, it's like an Italian dish, and you take the lamb shank. It's a piece of it, like this 3-4 inches, and you can tell that on the computer. And it's got good meat around it. It's one of the the dirty parts, no one eats, and you just braise it in a white wine tomato, all that shit. It's pretty tasty. And then where I get it, there's a place in Ontario, which is right by us. It's called Rosa's. It's an Italian restaurant, and I get it there. And they give you a little fork for the marrow in the bone because there's a big bone in the middle of it. So you get the marrow, put it on some toast points. Good stuff, man. It's like meat butter.
Ray Mack.
Ray Mack's in. What's up?
I'm going to say X hot seat, but it's not X hot seat. It's alumni hot seat.
That's funny.
What's up, man? I'm glad you're here.
Dude.
Sadly, we're getting close to wrapping up. So, Ray, if you got a question for CJ, you better start dropping it now or anybody else.
We're not doing this for hours? What the hell, man? I thought I was.
As long as you can freestyle long enough and I can go pee, we'll run this shit.
Why don't you got a bucket under your desk there, man? Just get real personal.
Oh, you mean my my $20 plastic table here that I work off of?
Yeah, whatever. I can't tell what it is. You can be on the biggest desk in the world.
At some point in time, I'm going to do a behind the scenes of the hot seat. You can see how completely dysfunctional this entire process is.
What is behind you that it's black there? You're not on a green screen. It's just
it's an $8 Walmart curtain or $8 Walmart bed sheet.
That's awesome. That's perfect.
I sat there and took a picture of it at one point, and somebody said, with the cinder block, I'm in my basement, said, cinder block wall, you can call this, what the hell was it, Dungeon Barbecue?
Dungeon Barbecue, yeah, awesome, dude.
So typically on Thursdays, my girlfriend, who I call Mrs. Hobo, we're not married, but
yeah, don't do it. Run.
I did that once.
I know, right?
So her kids are 5 and 6, and on Thursdays they have what they call a sleepover, where her kids sleep in our bed. I end up spending the night on the couch. Kids are happy. I don't go to bed till 2 a.m. I don't work. I work 4-10 schedule Monday through Thursday, so I'm off on Friday.
Right on.
So it works out good because she keeps them quiet. I can come down here, do this with minimal distraction, and it just kind of works out. But I had to figure out some kind of background, and like Ezreal, I wanted to say his name's Chris because apparently everybody with a barbecue channel's name is Chris, and if I fucked it up, I'm my bad. But he made the comment last week or the week before. He thinks the reason that the camera's doing this is because I need some kind of rear lighting, which I got to figure out. But I'm probably going to ditch the black sheet and come up with something different at some point in time.
It looks very mysterious and dark behind you, like you're doing some evil deed back there.
Well, the best was when I was wearing a black shirt one episode, and I looked like it was a floating head.
That's funny.
All right, Kent Ventaweird. Cast iron or Teflon pans?
I guess it depends on what you're cooking. I actually just got into getting cast iron a few months ago. We got our first cast iron pan, and I did steaks in it, and it was freaking awesome. So I'm a big fan of it now. I'm learning to do more stuff in it. I did that pot pie in it. I did the a steak video in it. But the Teflon, for the non-stick shit that I do, like the pastas and the shrimps and whatever, those are a lot easier to mess with that stuff. And we have some pretty good pans here. My lady's a fiend about kitchen gadgets and good stuff, and I never knew so much kitchen shit existed.
Right. I'm trying to make sure. All right. I don't typically entertain this, but I actually really like Cooking Green Bastard style. There's no answer to this question. It's when is one of you gun-toting fools going to deal with the idiot in charge?
What the fuck?
I'm not going to entertain that question, but I will ask that question out loud just because I'll give anybody the opportunity to say whatever the fuck they want.
I like it.
I'll say this. Yeah, he's from Canada. I don't know what kind of news I get, but I think you have to have a balance in countries, and I think there's certain things that you can argue that we've had 8 years of one direction. You need to have some sort of other direction. It balances itself out. As long as it doesn't get bananas, you're fine. And I think everybody screams at the sky, whether it's one side or the other, going, right. Oh my God, the world's going to end, to, the last year you've seen, oh my God, we're going to be in World War III and this, that, and the other. None of that crap's happened. And it is what it is. We got to.
My biggest thing with that guy is stay off of Twitter. Go be a fucking president. Don't be Twitter. That's my biggest thing. Other than that, if the tax thing helps us out, I'm good with it. If other than that, I mean, I'm in mortgage lending, right? So there was, 2008 when it went to shit. The every lender went bankrupt, the whole bit, right? Obama came in and just fucking over-regulated everything. Like, just there's tighten on credit, whatever. So my biggest thing is I was hoping Trump would do was limit or reduce at least the Dodd-Frank Act, which really impacts my business and would free up some credit. So I don't know, really what's going on with that or anything like that, but that's what I'm hoping for. What's up, sweetie? What are you doing? Huh? You want to be on camera? You want to say hi to the people? I'm kidding. No. Sorry, that's the girl. That was our girl. We have 4 boys and 1 girl in the house.
So does the seat stay up or does the seat stay down?
Dude, I learned from a young age, man. Put that thing down. I'm serious. I was telling you, it was just me and my mom for a lot of years. Like my dad's still around. I love my dad. I see him all the time. But growing up, it was just me and my mom most of the time. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Garden Grove, which is in Orange County, and I had to kind of go with that vibe. So putting the seat down, that was a big deal. My mom fucking smacked me around if she fell in the toilet in the middle of the night. So I just learned to put that shit down.
I've actually heard that statement said before of falling in the toilet.
Yeah.
And what makes me laugh is we're guys. We take a shit.
Right.
I've never fallen in a toilet.
No. No, I look for the fucking seat.
So I can't understand how that I mean, I get it. If the expectation is it's down, it is what it is. But
right.
Like I'm struggling with Christina's Mrs. Hobo's son of he doesn't pull the seat up when he goes pee.
Oh.
But he's so short that it just kind of he doesn't have to aim far.
Right. That's funny.
All right, so Meatheads, I think I'm going to just make this a permanent question, Meathead. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't put any presidents up there. I feel like all presidents have their own agendas, and like I said, most politics are corrupt. So that kind of bugs me. I think famous wise, Sinatra would be on there. I'm a big fan of the Rat Pack era. Dean Martin, I love those guys. Dude, Brett Favre, I love watching him play ball. He was a nut job. I don't know. That's a pretty damn good question.
He's asked it on the last couple, and
I like it. It's one that gets you thinking. Shit. I don't know. I really have to think about that one probably a little bit more. I wish I would have had I know it's a good spur of the moment question, but I wish I would have had that one so I could have really thought about it. But, I like those guys, and, Garth Brooks, fuck it. I don't know. He was an entertainer, man. That's good stuff.
You got to pick one more.
You know how I used to love watching playing football? You're talking about Raiders, was Howie Long. That guy was just a badass. I love watching that guy play. I used to play defensive tackle when I played, and I just emulated off of that guy. I loved watching him play. So I wish there was more. It was more substantial answer there, but I mean, I don't hold politicians on pedestals. My dad would be a good guy to put up there, I guess. He's been a huge influence in my life. See.
So Kent Vanderweerd, going back to the toilet seat conversation, says equal opportunity, put the seat and the lid down. Everybody has to lift something.
I like it.
And Michael, Everyday Barbecue, says, have to hit the sack. Good night, everyone. See you, CJ.
Take care, brother.
All right. Ray Mack has the last question, unless somebody types something in there before I ask it, and CJ answers it. And it's, CJ, what is your best marinade recipe? And Ray Mack, your sandwich looked fucking amazing in your video today.
Right on. Marinade recipe. I like using dry marinades, I guess you'd call it, dry rubs, more than like a liquid marinade. So I love the Montreal steak seasoning. Back in the day when I first started kind of learning how to barbecue or cook or whatever, I used to use soy sauce and Lowry's, the old school Lowry seasoning salt. And that always did the trick for me. Maybe a little beer in there. That's about it. I think I saw one from Ray about my my influence, who was my biggest inspired me to cook and barbecue. That was in the little bit further down. Ray, you came in a little bit late on this one, but it was we talked about it. It was my mom. My parents got divorced when I was 5, I think, and I actually didn't. I lived with my dad right off the bat, but I moved in with my mom when I was about 11 or 12, and she worked. She worked 50-hour weeks or whatever, and I had to learn how to do everything on my own. So she taught me how to cook, and there's not one dish I could think of that was a special dish that she used to make for me or anything like that. I couldn't tell you, but I remember that I had to learn how to cook, and she was the one that taught me how to do everything. And as far as like barbecuing, I didn't really have like an influence on that. I would just I just wanted to have barbecue, I would just grill whatever I could.
All right. 2 things here. One, we're going to sign off here. Obviously, CJ, don't jump off when I say we're done, because I want to talk to you after. Number 2, if you've made it this far, leave me a comment of what you want to see on here. And actually, I have one more question for CJ, because I keep fucking forgetting to ask this question to people. But anyways, tell me what you want. Any certain questions you'd like me to ask everybody that comes on here. Yada, yada, yada. Shorter, longer, drunker, less drunker. I can't get better looking. You get what I'm getting at. All right, last question before we sign off. 3 people you'd like to see in the hot seat.
Well, shit. I mean, I really just kind of started watching this. I think, it would be I think a coup for you to get Troy on here. If you could reach out to that bad boy.
I've worked on it. We're in discussion.
All right. All right. I think that would be a huge thing to talk about. And he'd sit here and drink with you, so that'd be a good deal. So I don't know who else hasn't really been on here. Have you had Meathead on here?
Also in discussion.
Meathead, you ignorant slut, get on this damn thing. Swear to Christ. I don't know what you're thinking. I I don't know. I'm still kind of. What about Robert Roy? Is his name Marion?
Marion.
Yeah, Marion.
I got a loose promise from him also, pending 13 things.
Oh my god!
Is this
Did
what
he
you
ask for the reach around or what?
What's that?
Did he ask for the reach around or what did he ask for?
No, I think some of it comes down to timing. Some of it comes down to. So I've done this now. I wish In for the Grill barbecue is still on here, and he may still be, but he keeps better track of this, and this is mine. But I think we're on like episode 15, 16, or 17 of the hot seat. And,
Wow.
you know, we've been doing this, I think, since August.
Oh, that's cool.
Scott, how many episodes are we at now? He just hopped on, but I think it's hard for people to commit to it because, you know, you're opening yourself up to, you don't know what you're going to get asked, etc.
Right.
Scott says we're at 17. So that's basically 4 months of doing this every Thursday. And I get it. I mean, it's, you know, I typically ask the same questions. I try to, you know, you can ask CJ after we get done. The first question I ask every person that comes on here before the show, is there anything that you don't want me to ask?
Right.
Because I'm not going to put somebody on the spot on here. Meathead says I could only do it on a Friday. Meathead, figure out what Friday works out for you, and we'll switch everything up. You know, get at me. You got my phone number. You can text me. Robert Roy says, count me in, pick a date, and I'll clear my schedule. How about next Thursday?
Well, to get them on the spot. That way you don't have to worry about it during the week.
I mean, that's the hardest thing for me is we get done with this. I'll talk to whoever it was for a little bit after the show, go through the weekend, then Monday hits, and I'm like, fuck, I got to figure out somebody to have on Thursday because Robert Roy says he's in for next Thursday.
All right, that's cool. What you said you work 410s. What do you do?
I work at an oil refinery as an inspector.
Oh, okay, cool. So not chipping days.
Bad shit. It was kind of weird for me because I came from a same company. I was a contractor in a different state. Same big oil company. And we worked 5/8, and that's the weirdest thing going to a 410 schedule. You think it'll be great, but then you sit there and go, I have a 3-day weekend every weekend, and you're like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm used to working Monday through Friday, have 2 days off.
Right.
Well, you get 3 days off, but then your vacation days then roll to 10-hour. You know, instead of having 2 weeks off of, you know, what somebody figures it's 80 hours, you only get 8 days off. But then when you start trying to put those in there, it just gets all types of weird.
Right.
You know, when you figure out what, like Christmas time, I can spend 4 days and get like essentially 10, 11 days off when you figure out the holidays with New Year's.
Right.
And Christmas and stuff like that. It's awesome, but it's a weird transition of like, you know, it gets dark here at like 4:30 now. I get off work at 5:30, get home at 6 o'clock. And it's like, now that I started this YouTube thing, it's like, I can't cook a video during the week. It's just not feasible.
Right.
Because most of the crap I do is outside.
No, I get you. I get that completely.
But at the same time, I have Fridays off, so I can cook a shitload of videos on Friday if I want to.
Well, when do you normally drop your videos? What day?
I really don't have a schedule.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. Just
typically Thursday's the hot seat now for the last 4 months in a week. I try to. It's funny because I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was talking to In for the Grill BBQ, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to. Here I get all blurry and shit. It's not you, it's me. I had like intended on banging out a bunch of burger videos but it got so cold that day that I got one out and my fingers got numb.
Mm.
So it's like,
That sucks.
what is it? Sauce Stash he sent an email to Dame Drops.
Yeah, I saw it. I was following it.
And Dame told him, he challenged him with
260.
250 or 260? 260 videos a year, which is basically 5 days a week.
No way.
And I've been trying to, like, I've reached out to him and sent him some messages on some things that I've seen, like how to, get efficient as crap on making stuff.
Mm.
But at the same time, with a day job, that's hard to do when you're actually creating food. And I'm not dogging Dame Drops by any means, but when you pull up to McDonald's and you just buy what it is, you eat it and you do it. I don't know how long it takes them to eat and do stuff, but
edit it, and send it out.
I mean, an hour a day?
Maybe. No, I'm with you. I understand. I would love to ask Dame Drops about that. I was actually I watched his Help the Creator video or whatever that he just put out where he's talked about Sauce Dash. And I was actually going to send him an email about that. Like, how do you expect people to do this with a full-time job? Because, like, I know that when I shoot on a Saturday, usually I'll shoot videos on Saturdays so I can release them on Sundays. I'm usually, shooting the better part of the afternoon, if anything, because, I got to deal with kids' sports and all that shit. But after that, I'm shooting for the better part of the evening. I'm doing it for dinner. I'm just basically filming me making dinner. And then I'm up till, 1:30 at night doing all the editing. And I'm just using my MacBook, using iMovie. It's not like I'm putting like tons of like editing skills in it or whatever. I'm just, just trying to cut and paste and move and groove and, drop videos or whatever. I don't know that I could do that, 5 times a week or whatever. I shot the 2 videos last Saturday and I was beat. I was just like, I felt like I had, worked out, for lack of a better word. Like, this was a pain in the ass. I ended up, I probably shouldn't say it, but I edited my poutine video at work. I had some free time kind of going into lunch or whatever. My team runs pretty well without me or, doing their thing. And I was just doing the editing at work. I brought the laptop to the office and, just started doing my thing.
I mean, it's the thing with certain, we'll take the cooking genre. Is there's some people that make, I'll use me for the perfect example. I made a video on how to fuck to melt butter in a microwave. That took 30 seconds to film and probably 10 minutes to edit.
Right.
But if you take something like smoking a brisket or a pork butt or whatever, I mean, that's a 8-10 hour endeavor, depending on how you're doing it, just in the cooking process, which you're not sitting there babying anything, but it's 10 hours. My poutine video is going to be, I'm using Blind Grillin's rub that he sent me on some beef ribs. That's part of it, but like, that's going to be a 6-7 hour video just in the recording of just the smoking of the ribs.
Right. No, I'm with you. I did the chili verde. I did it for about 3 hours on the smoker, the grill with the smoker box or whatever. And so that's 3 hours, not to mention, the hour prep time before that. And then, doing all the stuff in between. And then juggling home and family life and, kids running amok and whatever. I would love to do more content. And, every once in a while I could try to fit a weekly one in. Like I filmed on a Tuesday one night and released it on Wednesday. But for the most part, I don't have time during the week to mess with that stuff. Too much of life gets in the way.
I mean, it's like even with the hot seat of, I try to watch every video that the person's made. Like Ballistic Barbecue, that wasn't fucking feasible. But I've watched a lot of his stuff previous. I've watched a lot of your stuff previously because I think I got into being a subscriber pretty early in your process, but I don't remember everything. So I try to go back through, and it probably takes me Tuesday and Wednesday is basically I get home at 6, eat dinner. She puts the kids to bed, and it's 8 o'clock till midnight of me watching videos, trying to
Right.
figure out, okay, what to ask, what to kind of
I'm with
understand, shit like that.
Yeah, well, I've noticed that, with that YouTube Cooks group that we're on, I want to support all of everybody. Like, I want to watch their videos and I'll drop comments and all that stuff. So I'll sit there, I'll go up at night and, while the kids are still doing their stuff, or, the ladies watching something I don't want to watch, whatever, I'll put the headphones on, bust through 5 or 6 of the videos, try to leave some comments, try to show support. But to try to watch it nightly and all that, it's too tough to watch everything.
And the thing is that people have to understand is that cooking is such a wide genre that if you don't like to bake cakes and somebody is a cake baker,
right,
there's probably people that do that don't have any interest in barbecue or outdoor cooking like what I do. And I get that, and I don't get mad because somebody doesn't, follow me or leave comments. And that's the other thing is YouTube pushes every big how to make a video thing, says you should reply to all comments, do this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a certain point, it's almost impossible.
Right.
And
so far, I've been able to keep up with the comments, because I'm only getting, 20, 30 per video. So right. I got my phone. I could answer right quick. It's not that big of a deal. But I've saw the same thing, read the same thing, and something like, someone that has they got Jack always does the food reviews. He's got like 300,000 subscribers or something like that. I couldn't imagine trying to keep up with all those comments and putting a heart on everyone and putting the comment in on everyone. I just can't imagine keeping up with that. I hope that's a problem I have someday, but other than that, it's tough.
I mean, I look at it this way: if somebody makes a video that I think is just outstanding, I'll leave a comment.
Right.
And I've heard rumors that people got mad at me because I don't send a comment on every video that every person puts out.
I'm still waiting for you to put a comment on one of mine. I mean, just be nice.
My problem is I'm a terrible writer.
Oh shit. I just, I write what comes to mind. I'm like, if you make a fat ass steak that looks good, I'm like, dude, that's a fat ass steak that looks good. Good job. Keep it up.
Right.
And I've noticed that like the new people that, post to our group or whatever, I try to watch their videos, and if they only have like 50 subscribers or whatever, I'll put on there, this looks good. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Because I think the easiest thing to do is get discouraged, in doing this. People aren't responding well, or people aren't watching your videos or whatever. And, you did this for a reason. You got to keep it up. And that's kind of what I tell myself, it's like, I want to be the best. So I'm going to figure out a way to be the best.
I mean, that's how I look at this show. I made this show with the intent of, at some point in time, I'm going to continually get bigger, and I want to help people that are new get their face out there on stuff. To me, that's more valuable of making that. So people have watched you for the last 2 hours, basically, and they have learned who you are as a person, not who you are on the show.
Right. I hope that doesn't deter people.
Well, it's going to be what it is.
Right.
We jumped into many conversations here, so it's probably you're always going to piss somebody off with anything you do.
Whatever. You can't please everybody all the time. And, I do, in a comfortable environment like this, I will cuss like a sailor, man. That's just my nature. This is my business. We cuss. It's just the way it is. On my videos, I think I've cussed one time. I've said shit one time. And or twice, and I bleeped one out or something like that. That was it. But I try to keep it PG, try not to drop any bombs. You'll see them in the bloopers. But other than that, man, it is what it is.
I mean, the one thing that I've tried to make, and I've made some comments in our group before, was jump into a group of a couple hundred people and everybody subscribes to you. Even if you got half the people and you got 150 subscribers out of the deal.
Right.
That's not really real life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
It got you a bump. It probably helps in the, pushing your channel a little bit, but you walked into an environment that was we're all doing the same thing.
Right. I think this is huge, man. It's what you're doing with this chat thing. I think it's awesome. I mean, I've watched it a couple times now, and I didn't really know what to think of it, but we've kind of chatted before when I helped you with that McRib thing or whatever. I figured it'd be nice to talk with you. I mean, that was the simplest thing with me. I figured it'd be cool to bullshit, and I think I think this is a good thing. I mean, I think you should obviously keep doing this, man. This is awesome, but I think it really will help.
I think it'll be interesting, like Marion has said, Robert Roy. You get X number of a year away, whatever, to where people can go back and go, this is where these people started. I think it'll be an interesting time capsule. Right.
I like that. I still, like I said, I'm 22 videos into this. I'll still go look at those first couple. And it was a little bit of a struggle, but I was doing the best I could with, the limited knowledge I've had of doing stuff. And I can't wait for a year from now to take a look at it and see where I'm at. And, God willing, I'll still be able to do this stuff and still do the weekly videos and still have fun and do the groups and the chats and all that stuff. Like this poutine thing that we've been doing on the Messenger with the 6 and 6 or whatever. I've had a blast watching that stuff. Who knew Barlow Barbecue plays poker? I'm like, dude, I'm in, dude. Deal me in. I'm in. So it's cool to get to know people that are not in your circle. Right. I mean, I've had great friends for a lot of years, but it's cool to see people out in the world. Like you're from Ohio. Like I don't know anybody from Ohio. The farthest east I go is Iowa. I have my favorite aunt in the world is in Dubuque, Iowa. So she's just one of my favorite people. So I was hoping she'd be watching tonight. She said she was going to. My dad popped on for a bit too. He texted me. He's like, I was on, but he said you did good, kid. I'm 41. He still calls me kid. He's like, you did good, kid. But my battery's dying. I'm like, because he only plugs it in one time a day, So anyway,
I think it was last week or the week. No, it was with Everyday Barbecue, and I got a little bit shit faced. A little bit meaning a lot. My grandmother popped on the chat.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, no.
That's awesome. Yeah, I thought I put the link on my page and in my Facebook page, and my aunt said she couldn't save to watch it, so I was hoping she'd watch it. And obviously I don't know if she knows how to chime in or whatever, but she was freaking awesome. She is like the dopest person in the world. And then, like I said, my dad popped on. I thought that was hilarious. My dad, he's technology. I don't say illiterate. He knows how to do some shit, but it's he's got a flat phone like this, like a Samsung or whatever. And I call my dad every Wednesday night. All right, I drop my boys. I have dinner with my boys, drop them off at their mom's, and then I call my dad on the way home. And I could see him. My dad looks like me with a bigger white beard, basically, and has a full head of hair. So I could tell that when I talk to him, he talks like this. He has the phone way up, so he'll hear everything I'm saying, and then I'll hear him mumble off. I'm like, Dad, I can't hear you. I'm like, rock the phone the right way. So he'll rock it down here so I can hear him. He needs the old school curved phone with the rotary, so I can hear him. So, but I thought it was cool that you jumped on.
All right, so let's wrap this up. I'm going to give you free reign to say whatever the hell you want to say, and then I will sign us out.
I don't know. There's not, to the 11 people still watching, thanks for watching all the way through. It's nice to watch two good boys fucking bullshit for a while. I had a great time. I'm glad you invited me on this or volunteered or whatever it is. This has been a great time. I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad that I was able to talk. I will come on at any time. You need someone to fill some space. Thursdays are usually pretty good for me. I'm pretty open, You know, unless there's right now, knock on wood, there's no sports going on. There's no Thursday practice or whatever. But you ever get, you know, you want to bullshit or whatever, I'm in. You know, should open this up to a couple people. So do the real chat. Crossfire.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Obviously, CJ, don't sign off. Thanks for tuning in. Robert Roy's going to be on next week. I'm 98% sure he agreed to that. You know the deal. Be good. Your dad is. Wait a minute. Boop, 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 boop.
Yes.
Texas Style Cuisine says your dad is Santa.
You know, the funny thing is my dad is an old kind of biker dude, and but carries the big white beard, and he has punched people out for calling him Santa. He's literally knocked fools out for calling him Santa. They wanted to sit on his lap or some shit. He said he knocked some guy out because he wouldn't let it go. He does not like to be called Santa. I'm like, well, dude, if you don't like to be called Santa, stop growing the ridiculously big white beard. So, but either way, still a good guy. Still a good guy.
And Meathead says, Chris, you should easily have over 1,000 subscribers. Meathead, I make too much controversial shit to have over 1,000 subscribers at this point. And I'm okay with that. Actually, do I give it away? Do I not give it away? There'll be some interesting videos on my other channel and maybe on this channel. I haven't figured out where I'm going to drop this yet, but Meathead, you'll enjoy it.
What other channel do you have?
It's called Hobo Nichol.
I thought that's what I've been watching.
No, this is Hobo Nichol BBQ.
Oh, fucking A. All right, cool. I'll sub to your other one too.
It's not that great.
All right,
it started out with one good video that actually meant something, and then it turned into, well, just go look at it. You'll see. It's vaguely entertaining. It's me basically taking Urban Dictionary definitions and just kind of putting what the word is, what the definition is, and then SpongeBob comes up with the big goofy laugh.
Well, it's funny you say Urban Dictionary. In the poutine video I shot, I did it hipster style. Like I put on some fucking glasses, a beanie when it's 75 out, you know, the whole bit, and rolled up my sleeves so the tattoos were flaring, and you know, because in California, you know, it's in every new hipster gastro pub. You can get poutine anywhere now. It's like the big fucking whatever. So that's how I did it. I did it all hipster style, and I put the definition from Urban Dictionary on there for hipster. So sorry.
Those are dropping what, Saturday?
Yeah, I'm putting it out. I'm dropping it Saturday when I wake up. So it'll probably be about 9 Pacific time, so 6 o'clock your time, or 12 o'clock your time. 12 o'clock your time.
I don't math well, especially with alcohol.
I was gonna say, man, I'm trying to do the math, but I think where you're at is 3 hours ahead of me. So dude, it's fucking late for you right now. It's almost past your bedtime.
Johnny says maybe if he stops pissing people off. I'm not good at that, Johnny. I'm me, and I'm okay with that. And I could literally give a shit whether somebody sends me something. I came to that kind of conclusion in the last couple weeks of I would rather do whatever the hell I want to do and be me than worry about Bob's Barbecue Company sending me some rubs.
Well, I tell you what, man, you'll probably do better that way. Just being yourself, right? I mean, if you think about it, if you're out to get the corporate sponsorship, then probably shouldn't be a dick. But if you're
so here's the thing, and there's 9 people watching, and goddamn it, nobody's making it 2 hours into this video, anyways.
Let's do it. Come on.
I made that slow and serve video because the conversation needed to be had, and right, wrong, or indifferent, I made mistakes in the video, and I could have done it better. But at the end of the day, it created a conversation that didn't exist on the internet.
I still have no idea what the fuck you guys have been talking about or why people got pissed off or whatever. Let's talk about that another time.
It's a long story that doesn't really amount to a hill of beans. That is what it is. But at the end of the day, if everybody in this country, I'll use Trump as the perfect example. If everybody in the country, 100% of the people verbally that you ever saw on TV or whatever said, Trump's the greatest man in the world, there's a silent majority that goes, I don't know that I agree with that. He doesn't walk on water. And all I did was say, Trump doesn't have to be president in order for the country to run, equivocally. That was my intent of the thing.
All right.
Because everything I'd read online basically pushed for this one product.
All right.
That was my interpretation of what I read. Other people have different interpretations. I've seen people. I had one comment from a guy that said, well, based on your video, I can tell why you only have 400 subscribers because you're an asshole.
Holy crap.
And I said, based on what I can get from your channel, which is no videos, and this one comment, you had 100 some videos to judge me by, and you came to this decision. So I'm stuck with only this video or this comment on that you made on my video. And my only assumption is you come to rash decisions. You know, it's like, if I made this video 153 times, I could see, you could go, wow, this guy's just railing against this one thing. But end of the day, whatever.
Yeah, it don't matter. Your life has not changed. I like how Meathead said you're going to be kicking puppies, though.
Yeah, I think he wants me to make a video doing that.
Just kicking puppies?
Yeah.
Just walking by.
I haven't found any good puppies to kick.
Dude, I got a couple over here you can kick.
But apparently that's where I'm at. And whatever. All right, we're tuning out. You done? You good?
I'm good. I could probably sit here and bullshit all night, but I need to go to sleep too. I need my beauty sleep.
When I had Texas style cuisine on here, I don't know, fucking 13 weeks ago, me and him talked for over 2 hours, and then I talked to him for another hour off camera.
Nice. That's awesome. So you're doing the Lord's work here, man. You're doing a great job.
All right, I'm hitting the stop broadcast button. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Blah, 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 blah. Goodbye.
Subscribe.
Yeah, and subscribe to CJ. Even if you hate me for all my hatred.
The hell with Chris. Subscribe to me. I'm a nice guy. I don't kick puppies. I don't know what slow and serious. I don't give a fuck.
I make these videos to make the people on the show look better.
Yes. I don't know how that's possible. Have you seen what I'm working with? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I kick puppies.
You kick puppies. Cheers.